Hi, and welcome to another edition of Quick Draw here on the Happy Show. This is your host Matt Hawes, and also the artist in this, scene. Here we go. Anyway, yeah, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do superhero again because I just can't get enough of them. Actually, because it's the thing I like to do the best, perhaps. I eventually will probably get around to doing something else at some point. I don't know when. Anyway, here we're going to go ahead and start with no underlying sketch here. We're going with straight to the pen again. And so you're going to see a lot of probably inconsistencies and a lot of mistakes or whatever. I'm going to own up to that right away because, like I said, this is quick draw. What do you expect? So anyway, oh look, you can see the price on the pad. It would cost me $5.65 for that cheap pad. So it's quality. Okay, now this is when I first started out. Just like I do a lot of these quick draws, I don't have any idea exactly the kind of pose I'm going to have until I actually draw it. To be honest with you, I'm making this up totally as I go along whenever I draw these things. And I guess I could go without saying, but I mean, I don't. Yeah, I just have the very bare thought of what I want to go with here. Basically, what you see a lot of times when you see me drawing little random lines is those are kind of guidelines in a sense. Because sometimes that isn't even like right there on his chest. That's not supposed to necessarily symbolize anything on his chest exactly. It's just more of a center line there. It's not actually supposed to be, like it's the breast or the line or whatever. That's just basically, like I said, just the center of the picture in a weird way for me, kind of like a little guide there. Some lines do mean something, and some lines don't. And since this isn't going to be a very polished piece, just like the other couple pieces weren't very polished, but hopefully it will look pretty decent. I hope, at least better than well, I don't know. Oh look, Anyway, I guess I've talked about this before, but most people might notice I'm kind of holding my pencil a little odd. I guess compared to what most people would hold their pencils, and my marker in this case. And yeah, I like to hold my pencil different. Actually, that's the only way I do hold my pencil. I don't hold it any other way. Dude. Anyway. So, what we're doing here is Spider-Man. I don't know if I already said that, but we're doing Spider-Man. Spider-Man, the Marvel superhero who's been the star of his own blockbuster movie in the year, was it 2001 or 2002? One of those years. And it's going to have a sequel this year. I guess it was 2001. And he's going to have a sequel this year and upcoming, unless it's a rerun, and then, in which case you might have already seen it. It stars Doc Ock as the villain. And Doc Ock will be played by Alfred Molina. Alfred Molina, who the only thing I can really tell you about is that he was the guy who was helping Indiana Jones in the beginning of the Raiders of Lost Ark film, but he betrayed him. I hope I ain't spoiling anything for you there. It's just at the very beginning of the movie anyway, because he meets a certain fate. It seems like he still is up to no good at Alfred Molina, because now he's playing another villain. And it looks to be a pretty good movie from what I've seen. What little bit it's been available to the public, or at least the public that goes online. And Tobey Maguire is going to be back as Spider-Man and all that. Anyway, Spider-Man's a pretty cool character. I like him. Decided to do that. Do Spider-Man just because I was sticking with some of the big guns. Like the first time I did Wolverine. The second time I did Batman. Now I'm doing Spider-Man. The webbing is tricky for a lot of people, and especially when you're doing quick draw, it's really going to be not perfect, let's put it that way. And doing a little spider web there around his head gives him that Spider-Man look already. The eyes are another trick. I decided to go kind of with what the classic look, I guess, is more or less, because they're a little bit bigger. Because some artists like Tom McFarlane are known for making them really large eyes, make them really large eye pieces or what have you. So yeah, there I'm starting to touch up things, starting to give it more form, and starting to define the muscles more, and over a mistake. Add a little shadowing. Whee! So, if you have any ideas for a quick draw segment, just go ahead and write to us. You can write to the Happy Show at 654B East Diamond Avenue in Evansville, Indiana. And that's 47711 area code. Zip code. I always say area code. I don't know why. Zip code. And let's see. Also, we got the Happy Show email address. You know, so many people can go ahead and write to us with any of your suggestions or ideas for this show. You can write to A Happy Show. That's all one word. A Happy Show at AOL.com with the little at symbol, you know. Because we'd like to hear from you if you have any ideas or comments, or just tell us what's your favorite parts of the show, what's your least favorite parts. Tell us what you don't want to see on this show. Say, that silly dancing doll, that's weird. Get rid of it. No, of course I don't know if we can get rid of 1D, but I'd like to hear your suggestions anyway. Let's see, and there we go. I'm adding more webbing. I gotta teach Happy how to draw this. Happy loves to draw. Did you notice about a show or two ago we had a Thanksgiving episode, and there was Happy doing his little Thanksgiving hand puppet with me. That's a talented puppet, I tell you what, but not as talented as the duck. Anyway, and do I say anyway a lot? Have you noticed that? That's something I'd like to get rid of, but anyway. Woo! So, let's see, where are we now? Okay, if this audio is synced up right, then it looks like I'm still doing the webbing. Interesting thing is, whenever I was drawing this, my pen wanted to start giving out on me. The ink was just wearing out. So, hopefully you're enjoying the run of the Happy Show. I hope if you haven't seen it before, I hope you continue to check it out. And if you have seen it, I hope you will keep tuning in. I've heard some feedback from people who've seen it, who I've known personally, and I would like to hear from the rest of you again, just to get an idea, if this thing's actually being watched very much, and like I said, I'd just like to hear the feedback. Can I go on about this anymore? Let's see, finishing up the arms there. Doing a little bit more webbing. With Spider-Man, you get a lot of that. You get a lot of webbing with Spidey. He's an interesting character to draw. In some ways he seems like a simple character. In other ways, it's a little bit more work than on an average hero in some aspects of him. Now, at this angle, it doesn't look too good, but in a minute it will show the finished piece, and you'll see that it looks a little bit more proportional, because at this angle it looks kind of like his head's like the size of a pea or something, but it actually is more in proportion whenever you see it at a different angle. And I was holding the camera again. This time I wasn't using the tripod, so I had the camera in one hand while I'm filming. The same as with the Wolverine. Yeah, well, I guess it turned out okay, but it wasn't totally satisfied with the whole job as I could have been. Of course, I don't think I'm ever totally satisfied, even whenever I take my time and do a really nice piece. I think that's the artist's curse. You're never fully satisfied as an artist, and if you ever are, you probably never try to improve. So maybe that's a good thing. But definitely, whenever you're doing a piece like this, just putting something out real quick, it's not the best, admittedly, and I wish even when quick pieces like this, I'm kind of wish I did a better job. It's kind of funny, the feeling. You're always thinking, well, even when you're just knocking something out, you want it to be good. At least you do if you have any artistic pride, I guess. Oh, look, there's the Spider-Man, the finished piece, and thanks for watching Quick Draw. Keep watching the show. Woo! Spider-Man.
Make me happy. Make me happy?